Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, good morning. Market bell. Little late this morning, but there's a lot to talk about, of course, every morning. There's a lot of talk about recession, whether or not we're here, or it's here, or we're going to get there. There's a lot to talk about, a lot of debates about it, but also there's a lot of good things happening too with Bitcoin, and I'm going to show you some positive metrics. And lastly, there's a few crypto updates I want to share. Not so good, not so good. Anyways, let's just get started. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified of all my streams. Follow me on social media. Check out CryptosRUs.com, and make sure you follow the brand new CryptosRUs Clips channel. Good morning, guys. Welcome. Today is looking good so far. Well, this hasn't refreshed yet, but U.S. markets, I believe, open green. Let's see. Market Watch already has it. So you can see, yes, right now, U.S. markets open green. Dow plus 222, S&P 22, NASDAQ 33. Yesterday was slightly red, right? But today looking good so far. And Bitcoin is looking good so far. Right back up above 21,000. Really slow and steady movements at this point. No big, drops or dips. No big volatility. Kind of slow and steady upward rise. And slow and steady upward rise for a lot of the altcoins too. And that is what we want to see, right? We want to see things move back slowly until we get back fully, right? So that is what we're seeing right now. But of course, there's a lot of moving forces right now, or driving forces behind the scenes. So let's start out with recession talk. So I saw Cathie Wood on the front page of CNBC today talking about recession and how she feels we're already in recession. And I do believe we are, because Q2 is about to end. And when we get Q2 GDP numbers, I think it will say that we are in recession, right? But according to Cathie Wood, she said something that's very, very interesting. Take a look at this quote. We think a big problem out there is inventories, the increase of which I've never seen this large in my career. I've been around for 45 years. Okay, we know supply chain still has its issues. We know that there's still elevated energy prices because of the war, right? We know those things. But this is the first time I've heard someone come out and say the inventories, right, have been stacking. And basically retailers and manufacturers and anyone else that's holding on a large amount of inventories, they're seeing them rise, and they can't get rid of it, and they can't sell it, and it's rising at a rate that Cathie Wood has never seen before in 45 years. That's pretty harsh. So hopefully this will not increase, right? This will not continue, because a lot of people are still talking about how they can't get enough inventory, right, because of supply chain issues. So who are the people that actually do have too much supply at this point, right? So it's kind of going the opposite way. Well, so I thought that was interesting. So whether or not we're in recession, still unknown until Q2 GDP numbers come out. But New York Fed President John Williams says no, he does not believe we're in a recession or going in a recession. We're merely seeing economic slowness, a slowdown that we need to see in the economy to really reduce inflationary pressures that we have and to bring inflation down. So he's on the side of Fed Chair Powell. Basically, we need a slowdown. We need rates to go up so we can stop inflation, right? So you got one side and you got another side, right? Some people think we're in recession, some people think we're not. But yeah, interesting debate there. All right, what else is going on? not stock related, but I saw this was a surprise. Nike, a lot of you guys are wearing Nikes. I have a ton of Air Jordans, but Nike earnings topped Wall Street expectations despite COVID lockdown and despite supply chain issues. So maybe it's just because a lot of people, when they were really, really, really bored, you know, they just bought a whole bunch of Nikes. I don't know, but that was actually quite a surprise there. That's quite a surprise. All right, now as for some crypto stuff, let's see. I saw this. This is just a friendly reminder of Bitcoin and why it's winning and why you need to ignore the naysayers. And I'm going to relate this to something we're seeing today. But obviously, 2010 when it came out, you know, small. People say no one used it, and then only nerds use it, only drug users use it, and then only money launderers use it, then gamblers use it, small percentage of the population use it, small companies and small countries. You see how it went from like all bad stuff to now pretty good stuff, right? And we're still at that stage where it's like, oh, okay, only small countries use it. Well, but think about it, it's countries. So today it came out Zimbabwe hiked their benchmark rate 200% because of massive inflation. And they're not the only country out there that's facing massive inflation, right? Their currencies, their fiat currencies are basically worthless. They're worth less than toilet paper. You got to have stacks or mountains of them to buy anything, right? So what are they doing to combat it? Well, according to Zimbabwe, they're going to mint gold coins, right? How do you just mint gold coins to act as a store of value? You either have gold or you don't. But are they just getting rid of their fiat, right? So this is a prime example of why Bitcoin exists and why it's going to grow, because more and more countries, as they suffer inflation and hyperinflation and economic turmoil, they go look at something better, right? Something like Bitcoin is very relevant. A lot of us, even in first world countries, in the U.S. and U.K., Australia, wherever, right? We never anticipate that fiat is going to go to zero. Well, maybe I take that back. Some people do. A lot of people have been saying that, but realistically, do we think it's going to happen tomorrow? Do we think USD is going to die tomorrow or next week or next month? No, right? But in a lot of these countries, that's what's happening. Every month, it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. All right. So very relevant and important reminder. And of course, if you're looking at the important numbers, well, there's some good metrics out there. The number of USDC, basically dollars, leaving exchanges at a 16-month low, right? That means that the newcomers that were holding on to USDC on exchanges, well, they pretty much left. This is going all the way back to January in 2021. And that was when Bitcoin was at $1,000, okay? So goes to show you that, yeah, the worst may be behind us because all the panic retailers, retail sellers, retail traders are gone, right? And we're at a 16-month low in terms of USDC withdrawals. So that's fantastic. And of course, the two that I want to show you are more fantastic. And these two basically represent the number of holders. People that hold at least 0.1 Bitcoin. This is not very hard to do, especially now, right? Well, it's still somewhat hard. 0.1 is still $2,100. Still a lot more than a lot of people can afford to put into Bitcoin. But the number of addresses, you could see it's starting to climb up even faster now. It's not even a slow and steady climb. It's starting to go parabolic. The number of people that are in Bitcoin and holding Bitcoin, approximately a little bit over 3.6 million, right? 3.6 million, that's a lot. But you divide that in half or at least by a third or fourth, that's the true number of holders. We don't really have 4 million people holding. It's more like maybe 1 million, right? But 1 million sounds like a lot, but it's nothing compared to 8 billion. So think about that. And it's not just BTC, ETH also. Number of ETH holders, 0.1. No, this is actually 0.01. I'm sorry. I thought this was 0.1. 0.01. Again, skyrocketing right now. So these metrics, real simple, shows that number of holders are increasing. Despite all the negativity and all the stuff that we're seeing, these are positive things to focus on because that's what it is. It's positive. There's more and more people getting in, learning about Bitcoin, understanding what it's about, right? And more importantly, the number of holders that we have now are not decreasing either. So you're getting an influx of new people into the space, and existing people, they're not going anywhere, right? So positive things. And then lastly, I saw this, which is quite interesting, measuring Bitcoin's miner revenue. This is how much they're making. And I recently did reach out to my buddy at Hut 8, and I wanted to get an update on how much it costs Hut 8 to mine a single Bitcoin. Approximately about 18,000. Okay, although she did mention they have a lot of old miners that are still mining Bitcoin at a rate of like only 4,000 per Bitcoin, although they're much slower, right? But generally speaking, around that point. So it kind of makes sense that miner revenue right now is low, still profitable, but low. But what's interesting is it's basically at the same point as 2021, right? When we had that crash down from 64,000 to 28,000, right? Miner revenue also went down. And then we start coming up. Is it a coincidence? We're at that basically same point right before we're about to come up again, right? Again, one of those interesting possible bottom indicators? Well, maybe. But just to show you how strong the miners are, here's all the ones that are publicly traded, where you could see that their operating cash flow, they got a ton of it, right? So none of these guys are hurting for cash right now. None of these guys are really liquidating their holdings and really worried about their future. They continue to spin up more miners. It's definitely a war among these miners in terms of how much they can accumulate, right? None of them want to give up. So, and there's definitely a lot out there. All right, and lastly, here we go. Here's a nice comparison, a fractal comparison between what happened in 2020, the COVID crash, versus now. Very similar, right? These fractal patterns, it's always nice to see similarities. Sometimes they come true, sometimes they don't, but pretty similar pattern right now. All right, now besides Bitcoin, what else is there? Celsius. Celsius denies allegations that Alex Mashinsky is trying to flee the U.S. So yesterday, it was reported by this one guy, Mike Alfred, who is some crypto analyst, said that he believes he got inside information that Alex Mashinsky was trying to leave the U.S. and he was denied. Okay, it has been unconfirmed. We don't know if it's actually true. But Celsius today came out and said they denied that he's trying to flee the U.S. So I guess that's good. But what we need to really know is what's going to happen, right? There's a lot of talk about bankruptcy proceedings, and if that's going to commence, are users' assets going to the lenders or they're going back to the people? What is going on, right? Don't quite know. And I saw this, I don't know how this account knows, but it follows Michael Saylor, and it shows that Michael Saylor is no longer following Alex Mashinsky or Zhu Su of 3 Arrows Capital. Okay, I thought that was interesting. And then Free Lunch had a super chat about this. With 87% of Celsius locked on the platform, sell short squeeze trending, 9 million sell needing to cover shorts, low liquidity, time on our side. This is GME 2.0. How are you playing this? I'm sitting on the sidelines because it's absolutely idiotic to try to play that Celsius short squeeze. It's not a short squeeze. It's whale manipulation. And if you want to be wrecked, totally wrecked, then yeah, go ahead and play it. But that's just idiotic right now. All right. Now, what else is there? Let's see. Harmony. Harmony recently hacked for 100 million. Now, the team offered 1 million to incentivize the hacker to return 100 million. You know, it's only 1%, so I guess the hackers thought it wasn't worth it. So, unfortunately, they started using this other project, Tornado Cash, which basically, you know, it distributes out the funds. So the hackers started to send funds to Tornado Cash to kind of hide the transactions and basically try to distribute the crypto they've stolen. So it doesn't seem like they will be giving that money back. So that's the unfortunate thing. There's still a chance they give a portion back or whatever, but at this point in time, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for this 100 million. And Harmony right now, basically, without this 100 million, their TVL has basically dropped to 0. So I don't know what else to say about the situation. Hopefully, with the help of authorities or some other chain analysis kind of like company that could help them track it, right? Outside of that, I don't think they're going to get the money back. So Harmony, whether or not they can fight through this, you know, the community staying strong and the dApps staying strong on top of Harmony, unknown at this point. But the biggest dApp on Harmony, even though they have suffered quite a lot, DeFi Kingdoms, they're talking about moving away. So that's also a blow to Harmony if it happens. So let's see what happens going forward. Crypto.com, a lot of people are using Crypto.com. They're removing Doge, SHIB from their Earn program. Okay, they're not delisting these coins. So 13 coins and Doge and SHIB are being removed from Earn. So obviously right now lending, passive rewards, right, kind of iffy because of what's going on. But they are adding a few others like Zilnir, Phantom, most likely because those, they earn rewards from native staking. So there's no, probably very, very less risk, right? But the other ones that they were giving out rewards probably had something to do with one of the CeFi projects or some of the CeFi projects that's out there that's been giving them rewards. So they're probably, yeah, it's smart for them to remove it, but add on the ones that are earning rewards natively and they're just passing on to the users. So most likely that's what's happening. And lastly, I saw this. I don't know what really explains it other than people leaving Coinbase right now. But Bitcoin Archive tweeted this about how, yeah, the number of Bitcoins leaving Coinbase is substantial, and the number of Bitcoins entering Binance is also substantial. It's almost a equal correlation. If you look at where this is, you know, the number of Bitcoins on Binance now is about 600, 700,000, and the number of Bitcoin on Coinbase is about that mark, actually a little bit lower, right? So right now, there's definitely a lot of people that trust Binance way more than Coinbase for whatever reason. But I think it's important to remember right now, with everything that's going on, the best thing to do is to safeguard your own crypto, okay? To make sure that you safeguard your own crypto so that you don't have to go through, you know, what the Celsius users are going through or CoinFlex users are going through or what the Voyager users are going through, right? You want to safeguard your crypto as much as you can at this point. All right, guys. Now let's do some Q&A. Let's see what the market is. Market is pretty darn good today. Plus 400, plus 81. I mean, not spectacular, but it's going the right direction. It's going the right direction. All right. Let's do some Q&A. Beastly Tendency says, I'm not showering until you hit 7,000. You might be not showering for a long time then. NMCT asks, what are the chances that Tron will be the next crypto project to fail? I see a second UST-like failure happening before the recession is over. Here's the good news and bad news about Tron. Even if their stablecoin USDD fails, I don't think it'll be nearly impactful as UST because obviously the market cap is much lower. There's not a whole lot of DeFi projects that are using them, right? But Tron, they can't seem to fix that peg. And I have seen them rise to the top before like this. They rose up really fast within the last few months, right? And I have seen them do that before and then drop off substantially whenever Justin really F's it up. And he always F's it up. So if USDD collapses, it's not going to cause anything near what UST caused. But can USDD collapse? Can Tron collapse? Sure. Could definitely happen. Philcone, thank you. Let's see. Anyway, we can earn yield on BTC without holding on centralized exchanges. Darren, no, not with BTC. BTC obviously is made by mining. There's no staking. There's no staking rewards. The companies that are giving staking rewards are basically loaning out your Bitcoin. So at this point, no. If you could choose to loan out your Bitcoin to earn rewards, but right now is probably not the time to do that. As for other crypto, yes, because most other crypto is proof of stake. So you can natively stake, empower the network, and earn rewards. That's how some of these exchanges and lending companies are doing it. They're just passing on the rewards to you, but they're just passing on a little bit less, right? So, for example, BNB, XRP, Cardano, Solana, Polkadot, Avalanche, Polygon. These are all proof of stake. So, or form of it, and you can stake your crypto in their wallet and start earning rewards. But for Bitcoin and anything that's proof of work, like Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Litecoin, you're not gonna get any rewards outside of centralized platforms. A lot of people are asking about. Finally, CZ bought Celsius. Is that breaking news or are you just causing FUD? Yeah, no. I think you're causing FUD. I don't see any headline news with that. But yeah, Celsius is, I think their only play is to really try to get like Binance to buy them or bail them out. I don't think FTX is going to help them, but probably Binance. They're probably considering it. But yeah, we'll see if Binance wants to make that move. I mean, it's really easy for Binance to do, to throw $2 billion into Celsius and buy their assets and take over. They could probably easily do that. The problem is though, before Celsius closed withdrawals, they had about $20 billion in assets. So does anyone dare to buy Celsius for, say, $2 billion, like what Goldman Sachs is doing, but then still have to owe $18 billion to people? Does anyone want to go through that? That's the question. Yeah, I don't know. Neil, hey, appreciate that. Where can you stake Polygon? Do it through their wallet. Their own native wallet allows you to do it. If Ethereum and other alts are labeled securities, what would that mean exactly? That means they're in trouble. That means they're going to be shut down by the SEC if they're based in the U.S. The ones that survived, there's a few that survived. Tezos, EOS, and Kick. they survived because they basically worked at SEC and they paid a fee, like some small fee or something like that. So in those cases, it turned out okay. But if the SEC starts attacking others, right, and they change their mind, they don't want to just give them a slap on the wrist fine. They can shut them out. They can kill the project completely. That could definitely happen. But I don't know. I don't know if that's their true intention or they just want to create more oversight right now. I think this Ripple case is a big one. This Ripple case could be the reason why Gary Gensler yesterday basically said he didn't want to talk about Ethereum or anything outside of Bitcoin. He recognized Bitcoin being the only commodity out there, right? Maybe he didn't want to talk about Ethereum being a commodity because Ripple is trying to get that information from the SEC. So it could be that that's the reason why. But I think it's going to be a very important case for crypto. And I really hope Ripple does win so the SEC doesn't overreach. Why does everyone care about where Kyrie Irving goes? Yeah, I don't care. If you pair him up with LeBron the second time, it's not going to be the same as the first time. He's a head case now, and he still believes he's Batman and not Robin. Clearly, he's not. Everywhere he's gone, basically, he destroyed the team after he goes anywhere. So, yeah, that pairing would not be good. Jurisco, I think that's how you say your name. Thank you. Appreciate it. AZ Chris, thank you also. Alex is running for Switzerland. Reports was that he was trying to flee to Israel because he originally was from Israel. He has a lot of ties with Israelis. So, but who knows if that report is true? I don't know if it was just fabricated or not. But he has a lot of problems on his hand right now, so he needs to figure out what to do. Learning Python, then C++. C++, isn't it C Sharp now? And C Sharp came out like 20 years ago. I don't know if there's something beyond C Sharp. But when I started my programming career, education, it was C++ and Visual Basic. And then I couldn't handle it in college, so I moved to hardware and networking. So I think that was a better move for me. But yeah, there's a lot of people that want to become, blockchain developers. A lot of the programming languages out there is based on Java and JavaScript. So that should be essential for people to get into. And also, at this point, of course, Solidity because of Ethereum. Yeah, just to throw it out there for anyone that wants to get into blockchain programming. C# is .NET and C++ is low level. Oh, okay. Well, but still, why would you program low level? Just go with .NET. Bring back Visual Basic. So did they kill that? Probably. Why is Luna Classic going up? Because of degens trying to make money and causing people to FOMO into it. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. There's no legitimate reason for it. Terra is just really, 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 really in a bad place right now. Don't know where Do Kwon is right now. Authorities are looking into him, looking into the company, looking into what transpired, looking into the exchanges, whether they were complicit in what happened. You know, the whole situation is just horrible. All right, guys, I'll let you go. Overall, pretty good day so far. U.S. markets are up. Kathy Wood thinks recession is really, really bad. Inventories are piling up, right? But others think, it's not so bad, like New York Fed president. I guess we'll see. We will know for sure. This is not something that we won't know. I mean, when GDP number comes out next month, we will know whether or not we're truly in recession, right? But are we going to go into deep, deep, deep recession or depression like some people say? Well, I don't know. It does seem like things are kind of leveling out right now a little bit. Oh, and I forgot, this Thursday we'll have core inflation numbers, so that'll be important too. But in the meantime, yeah, still a lot of stuff going on in the crypto world, a lot of bad stuff, but also good stuff, especially the number of holders that are increasing at an exponential rate right now, right? So focus on that, focus on good, focus on the future, all right? And you'll get through it. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, all right? Make sure you don't miss it and tune in. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.